Hello, welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast. My name is Mirella,
And I'm Zoe.
and today we're going to have another episode of Potential Obsessions. We're reacting to the official trailer of Two Worlds.
Okay, so I have to ask you, did you know anything about this before we watched it? Like, had you seen the
Nothing.
pilot trailer? Okay, so
Nope.
I watched the pilot trailer for this many months ago. Whenever it was first released, I can't even remember how long ago it was.
Hmm.
Um, it's quite different, which is not uncommon. We've had this conversation before, as how often it is. So, but with this trailer, I was like super confused because I'd seen the pilot trailer, I think. So I'm
Uh-huh.
curious to know, were you super confused when you were watching this trailer?
I am super confused, but also I'm super intrigued.
I
It
know.
looks
See,
really interesting.
this is what I was trying to say. Like, I was a bit skeptical because, I mean, you know, I watched I watched Cutie Pie and I watched Naughty Babe because I like will watch pretty much anything. I'm a bit
Hmm.
of a like, I'm not that discerning whether or not I like it or how much I like it or how invested I am and things like that. That's a whole other conversation. But I watched
Hmm.
it because like I watched Cutie Pie because there was big like hype around it before it started and everything. And it was one I watched with my mum. So I probably kept watching it. I didn't not like it or anything, but I don't know that it would have held my attention all the way through if I wasn't
Hmm.
watching it with my mum.
Hmm.
And then I watched the Naughty Babe one because I was curious because I liked the premise for that looked interesting. I was a bit
Hmm.
like about the actual drama, but it was okay. It was like it wasn't gonna break boundaries or like whatever, but it was what it was. Um, but I had heard that the two actors from Cutie Pie and specifically Naughty Babe were doing this, and I've seen them in lots of things. Like they've been in lots of different shows over the years. They were in Why Are You as like a very side pairing. And they're in something else as well, but I'm slipping my mind as to what it is. Um,
Hmm.
I want to say I think they were in War of Why, but I could be wrong about that. But they're in something else I've seen. Anyway, they've been in lots of things, and I've always kind of been like, I notice them when they're in things, but I don't really like. I've never really been gone excited about anything necessarily that they were doing. But I saw the pilot trailer and I went, "Wow, this looks really interesting," because I liked
Hmm.
the idea of this like parallel whatever. And then
Hmm.
but when I watched the trailer, I was like so confused. Like it took me a while to realize that yes, they are telling the same story that I had seen previously, but it was just like a really condensed, not explained version. I feel like
This is a
they
condensed, not explained version.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay.
like I feel like it was much clearer in the
Uh-huh.
pilot. I feel
Uh-huh.
like what the different storylines were. So
But it's actually good. Like I enjoy it. I enjoyed watching it the way it is, even though I'm confused, even though I don't know what exactly is going on here. I want to know. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
would I know
Well,
them? I tried watching Cutie Pie, but it
yeah,
wasn't for me. And I
yeah.
tried watching Naughty Babe. It was also not for me. I love the chemistry between them, and I like them as actors.
Mm-mm.
But Cutie Pie, the way it was filmed, it was just not working for me.
Yeah,
But oh
I
god,
feel
they're so good together. They
I
had
know.
such a good chemistry here. I was like, wow, wow.
Yeah, they do. They have really good chemistry. As I said, they've been working together for a really long time.
Hmm.
Since the little one was actually quite young, it was a bit like when I found out. Like there's a quite a big difference, I think, in their ages. Um, Max is the one who plays Ty. He's like 30, and Nat, who plays Cram, is only 22. So
Hmm.
there's, you know,
Okay.
what's that? 8 years. 8 years.
I just
Yeah.
looked it up, and apparently, my drama list says he's 21.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go then. So he's even younger. But I think
Mhm.
they've been doing stuff since he was like 15 or 16 or something. The first thing I ever saw him in, he was very young. He looked very young.
Uh-huh.
He looks young now, but I mean, they're
Yeah.
both young. They're both they're both younger than me. So giving away things now to our listeners. Um, but yeah, I agree. I think they've got good chemistry. They've always sort of had good chemistry. And some of that comes from working together for such a long time. But
Hmm.
the premise of it is basically, obviously we're explained some of it in the trailer, that um when
The moon's shadow fall. It's a sacred place, and when the water turns blue, two worlds collide, and
yeah,
the people get resurrected. The people who are alive disappear. I don't
yeah.
like it. Are these like two parallel dimensions that get connected, and people who know each other and have maybe their soulmates, maybe they have their destinies are connected. They
You're
somehow.
gonna tie this back to vice versa, aren't you?
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. Actually, there is a similar vibe. It's because in the big, like in the main story, let's
Yeah,
say it's
but
the
if vice versa, that both of them are from one universe, they just get transported to another universe
well,
to
there
learn
is a
something.
little.
In this one, the way I read it was that maybe they were supposed to be together, but something intervened. Like maybe one of them, from what I got, Cram, the Cram or the one that's like there were this pairing, like the two pairs, right? One
Mhm.
was where um the guys were in love, and I feel like Cram died probably, and then the
Yeah.
other world, Ty was a criminal, and maybe they
Mm.
were supposed to be together, but something happened. Did he really kill his mother? Maybe
It's so
he
funny.
died and disappeared. I don't know. Yeah.
No. So okay, so basically from what I remember from the trailer, the pilot trailer, basically what it is so Cram, let's say Cram's real world,
Mm-hmm.
so the world we start off in the beginning where his mother is killed or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in that world he's in love with someone else called Pupa,
Mm.
and Poopar is murdered. I don't know who kills Poopar, I'm not sure. And so when Poopar dies, he goes to the other world. So not Poopar, Cram. So Cram is the person who's alive, but disappears to somewhere different.
But I
So
remember them
uh,
saying that they need to save Pupa.
yeah,
Like he
because
didn't agree with the plan, so they want to take him down. He's already dead.
but I don't know which world that's in. So what I'm saying to
Oh.
you is in the beginning, from what I can understand from the pilot trailer and also the read up of it, is in
Mhm.
like Cram's original world, because Cram is the same person in both. Like he travels from one place to another. So when he goes to the other place where they're all like in
Mhm.
love and stuff,
Yeah,
and and Ty says to him, "I know you're not him, but you
yeah,
seem so much like him," because
yeah.
his Cram was murdered by Ty's father like 12 years before.
Oh,
So in the
okay.
parallel world or whatever, when
Yeah.
he sees Cram, he's like, "What the hell?"
Mm-hmm.
Because they were in love,
Yeah.
but he was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's the resurrected part. So he thinks he's been resurrected, but he hasn't. He's just come from the other world.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I got that.
so
I got that Scrum traveled from his world to the other world. And I feel like maybe at some point, I thought that maybe at some point in the story, he decided to go back and Ty left his world to go after him. Maybe
yeah,
at some
because
point in the story, we switched to the first to
yeah,
Cram's original world.
that might be what happens. But I've got a seeking suspicion that um his because his person, like Pupai or whatever, I think gets murdered. So I
Hmm.
think like he gets the impression, or even though he's now like in love with Ty and everything, I think he gets the impression that his Pupa or whatever, or the Pupa from that world, the world that he's
Hmm.
traveled to, will have
Hmm.
gone to his world or something, because
Hmm.
that's what happened to this in this place. Like he moved to this one. I'm
Hmm.
describing this really badly, but you know what I mean. Like he moved from A to B, and he thinks
Hmm.
that the Pupa from B has now gone to A. So like it's like he goes back to
Hmm.
see if he's there or something, or
Hmm.
to save him, because I think he thinks that maybe he's in danger or whatever. I'm not really sure. That's not 100%
Hmm.
clear. But so there
Yeah.
is a weird love triangle, I guess, which is one of the things that, because it's funny, because I said to Mum, this looks really interesting. She goes, will you watch this? Like, because
I did not, in the pilot trailer, that's interesting because in the this trailer, I did not have like nothing made me think that there's a love triangle involved.
in one of the scenes, like, they're sitting somewhere and it's Pupai and Cram kissing, not
Oh, really?
Cram and Ty. Yeah, yeah. I don't
Was it one of those scenes that just replace one another very quickly and I
yeah, I think so, yeah. So
uh-huh.
but yeah,
I'm
but with
curious,
it was,
what about Ty from the original world, the one with the
yeah,
scar?
well, that's
Where
right.
did
And
he
as I said,
disappear?
I'm
What's
like
going
you.
on?
I'm curious too to know whether or not he is really bad or whether he has always been in love with that Cram.
Hmm.
Like, with
I
like
feel like
you,
maybe
like,
he
did he
was.
really, like, did he really do
Yeah.
something to the mother and everything? Like, I'm curious. And
Uh-huh.
what's the outcome? You know what I mean? As you said, does the tie from like world B go to world A to try and go after Cram, or does he let him go, or like who ends up together? I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Uh-huh.
you have to assume. I mean, I'm going to assume anyway that it's going to be Cram and Ty because they are like a branded PL, a BL pairing. So,
Yeah.
um,
But
like,
which Ty?
well, that is the question too, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Because
Interesting.
if the Ty in the first world really is bad, then you would want to go back to the
Mhm.
other world because that Ty actually cares about you. Like, that Ty loves you. And
I feel like
realistically,
maybe I doubt that he is bad actually. I feel like maybe um he was framed or they set him up or something. Maybe this Pupa is a bad guy actually.
maybe, or maybe
Maybe maybe
I got
maybe
the impression.
he just made it look, how do you call it when you make it look as if you died but y- you
Didn't.
don't.
Like, he just faked his own death, I think is what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the impression now when you started talking about the fact that he is his lover, he was his lover and then he died. I was like, really? Really?
No,
Did he die?
well, but I think he did. I think he is really murdered because in the, as I said, I'm going off the pilot trailer, and this, we didn't see
Oh.
that in this,
Hmm.
so it could have
Hmm.
changed because we know they change stuff. But in the
Hmm.
pilot trailer, he finds him dead.
Oh.
Like, he actually
Oh.
finds his body, so he's definitely been murdered. Um, and so,
What if it was Pufa from the other world and it wasn't his Pufa?
but I think the impression I got once again from the pilot trailer is that the Poopa from the other world is actually bad.
Hmm.
Like, from his world, Ty is bad, but in Ty, the good Ty's world, Poopa is the one that's bad. And so, like, when Cram first goes there, he meets both of them, and obviously because he's in love with, or he because his lover was Pupai, he
Hmm.
is tempted by him, and he
Hmm.
goes. I think he goes back to the other world, or he realizes he can travel to the other world. I think, and
Hmm.
like get away from his crimes. I'm using air quotations with my fingers here.
Hmm.
And of course, Cram goes after him. I don't, you know, but even though he's
Hmm.
conflicted, so it'd be interesting to see because, I mean, realistically, it makes sense for him to stay in the world he travels to because in his actual world, his actual lover, who we assume was kind, maybe Marilla has other
Hmm.
theories, but let's say he was kind, has been murdered,
Hmm.
so he doesn't exist in that world anymore. The guy you now love is evil potentially, and your
Hmm.
mother's been murdered. So in the other world, you at least have, this other person who you love and who loves you. So I was really surprised because I was like, well, first off, because it was really different. Not different, but it felt like a different vibe, different kind of show type thing. It was a bit of whiplash, but it was like once I got about two-thirds of the way through, I was like, okay, yes, yes, it's the same thing. But I was very surprised by the nudity and the explicit sexual scenes I wasn't expecting to see on YouTube. Not that it was crazy or anything, but I was just like, oh, holy butts.
That's interesting, the fact that they decided to include that in a trailer.
well, it was not.
you know?
There was nothing like that in the pilot trailer. There was a really explicit kiss, but there was nothing like that. But now I'm like going,
Mhm.
okay, but which one was it? I'm like, is it Pupab or is it Thai? Because I have no
I don't
idea, and I'm like, how
I,
are you finding out? Like, this is not a thing you want on your TV and slow mo. Like, if someone else walks into the room, I swear I was just trying to see which actor it was.
yeah, I don't know who that was. I don't even know if it was a main actor. I thought there was a second pairing. There was a second
I
pairing,
think it.
right?
I don't know,
I
honestly.
think I maybe I might have blinked and thought when there were scenes with Pupa and Kram that they were just the second lead
Yeah,
couple,
I
but I
honestly,
guess not. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, I
I think
honestly don't know.
there were two different actors.
There's
Oh,
two. Well,
okay.
there's Thai. It was confusing in a couple of bits because it took me a second to go.
Mhm,
Oh, when I watched it the first time, I this is what threw me because when I watched it the first time, because as you said, it's very quick when the switching between some
mhm,
of the scenes.
mhm.
Um, and that's what threw me because in the pilot trailer, there's this whole other character. Like, so it is a sort of a like I keep wanting to say the word threesome, but that's not what I mean. Like a love triangle kind of situation. Um, and then but in this I never really noticed the actor playing Pupai. I just thought it was just Cram and um Ty, so well, the actors Max and Nat. I just thought it was them. It wasn't until I watched it the second time that I realized that no, there is actually a couple of scenes in there where it is um Cram and Pupai. So now I'm like, I don't know what that was. I'm not sure.
What I thought
I
was
don't I
also
don't recognize the backside.
oh no. What I thought was also interesting was that Cram asked Ty why he let go of everything for Cram. And this is what made me think that Cram, I mean, Ty was going to go after Cram to Cram's original world where
Mm.
like Ty is bad and in quotes, I don't know, and his mother died. And then Cram asks why. So why did you let go of everything for Cram? And if you're saying that Cram died 11 years ago, he's Cram, and then he responds, he's the reason for me to wake up. And like for 11 years you had no reason to wake up. I was like, what? I got a little bit confused, gonna be
Mm.
honest.
We don't know where that fits in the timeline. That's the problem with trailer with
Yeah.
pilot trailers.
Mhm. And then someone takes mistakes tie
Yeah.
for the tie with the scar, which is weird because the scar is not that easy to hide. But this also means that Ty came after Cram to Cram's world, right? And they're
Mm.
looking for Ty. Everyone is looking for Ty. There are scenes where like, where's Ty? Where's Ty? And Cram gets abducted and beaten. Like which Ty they're looking for? This is so confusing. But I don't
Yeah,
know. It's interesting.
I think
It's
it looks
really.
interesting. If they do a good
Hmm.
job of it, it's going to be really really good.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's completely
Yeah.
different, looks serious. You know, there's a bit of danger, there's suspense, like there's the supernatural aspect of it, which is kind of cool. And then there's also also this like level of, if they're people are actually dead and like whatever, the idea of like or this concept of them being enemies in one world but then falling in love in another because of these feelings of familiarity that
Hmm.
Ty is having for Cram, because it's like his Cram is alive again, and then also
Hmm.
Cram is having for Ty, even though his Ty is not someone that he has like warm and fuzzies for, but like it's the only he's the only familiar thing, even if
Hmm.
it's like not necessarily a positive reminder, because the thing is this Ty is so different. So it's an
I'm
interesting
thinking,
concept as well.
I thought, you mentioned vice versa, and the fact that I said that maybe were meant to be together, maybe they were soulmates. But what? Maybe they're actually star-crossed lovers. Maybe they are meant to meet each other and fall in love, but they aren't meant to be together. Maybe it's a tragic story. I mean, I don't know. Would they
Or
end it like
maybe
this
maybe it's
tragically?
maybe it's like what you said, maybe it's star-crossed, but maybe it's the issue wasn't that they're not meant to be together, like the cram from world A and the tie from
Mm-hmm.
world B. It's just that the cram and the tie from world B weren't meant to be together, and the cram and the tie from world A weren't meant to be together.
Mm-hmm. Maybe,
That's an
yeah. This
interesting
is
idea
this
as
is
well.
one way to resolve this.
Mm. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Mhm.
I will definitely be checking it out for sure. We'll have to have a conversation to see if we want to watch it together.
Mhm. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us. Follow us on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Spotify. Interact with us. Bye for now.
Bye.